Hello, my friends, and welcome. Welcome to the review of a vintage beautiful pan. This is the first Danish production Montblanc in my collection, and it is famous for this coral orange color that it has. This was found at an antiques fair. It still has the original price of it, 180 lei, the equivalent of 36.27 euros or 39.14 US dollars. Actually, I did not find it. It was found by a friend of mine, but I bought this piece from him, and I rewarded him a 10% finder's fee. So I paid for this at the end 200 leis or 40.30 euros or 43.49 US dollars. So let me take the price aside and let me present you this beauty. First of all, let me tell you what model it is. It is the model 204. You will see it is a bottom filler and it is fitted with a nice number 4 nib. And this is why it is the 204 model. Let me zoom on the nib, guys. You can see a 14 karat number 4 nib from Montblanc and a nice feeder, the predecessor of the ski slope type feeder. And actually, guys, just for comparing this with another iconic Montblanc, but this one a German produced one. I have the Montblanc Meisterstuck 144 from the beginning of the 1950s right over there, and I will take it to show you. Let me see. First of all, I will put this here, and also I will take the cap, guys, for you to see this beautiful example of a Meisterstuck. Okay, so they should have the same nibs, guys, but I've noticed that the number 4 nib on the 144 is slightly bigger, or maybe it's all in my mind. What do you think? Again, this is a two-colored one, and this is a simple one. Maybe it's the same dimension, but this one is out in the open and the other one is inside the body. I'm not so sure. And the ebonite feeder, so this is a more modern feeder, but from the beginning of the 1950s. This is more specific of the 1940s and the 1930s. And if we compare them side by side, guys, we can see. Let me put also the cap on this one and the cap on this one. Actually, the 204 was made between 1952 and 1954. So this is also a pan from the beginning of the 1950s. And I know that for a fact because this is also made out of celluloid. It has this Casein logo over here. Interesting enough, different from the one used in the Danish production. But giveaway is this feeder over here, this ski slope type feeder, that this Meisterstuck, it is a model from the beginning of the 1950s. So actually two pans, of course, one is a Meisterstuck, it means the top of the line, and one is, let's say, the middle of the line, one produced in Denmark and the other one produced in Germany. They seem to be the same. The main difference between them, it is in the filling mechanism. Here we have a bottom filler without an ink window, and of course this is a piston filler with an ink window and an integrated cap. So let me put this over here, guys, and let us concentrate on the beautiful Montblanc 204. Actually, this is my first Montblanc of Danish production, and practically it was built between 1950 and 1954, and actually there was a series of 20x button fillers, and like I told you, they were introduced in the 1950s and discontinued in 1954, and they included the 202, 204, and 206, and they were available in two colors, black and red, and the material was celluloid. So again, 202, 204, and 206, the differences between them were in their nibs. The 202 had a number 2 nib, the 204 a number 4 nib, and the 206 a number 6 nib. Interesting enough, the history of Danish Montblanc fountain pen is connected with the activity of the Danish firm Alfred Th. Oberg, who was the official Montblanc distributor for Montblanc in Denmark since 1921. The Danish company distributed and eventually manufactured Montblanc pens for the Danish market. Interesting enough, those pens have their own identity, and they differ from their German production. The story, I believe, started after the Second World War, when the facilities of Montblanc was affected in Germany by the heavy bombing of the Allies, and they had for a period to switch production in their Danish facilities and establishing a partnership with their Danish distributors. Quite a nice pen. In my research, I've seen on the internet a very interesting book dedicated to the Montblanc produced in Denmark. I did not know that they continued production till the 1990s. Very interesting. But I have in my possession a Montblanc 204. As you can see, all the body is made from celluloid. It is in this coral red or color orange, faded orange. It has some interesting trims. This particular ring was slightly affected in time. It has this engraving at the cap Montblanc, a very nice logo of Montblanc, and it appears made out of a different material, since the casein one present on the 144 has this ivory patina to it. I've shown you it is a button filler. On this particular model, you can see here a slight deformity, and I'm not so sure it was specific to the new ones. Maybe in time the celluloid has developed this little difference, maybe affected from the inner mechanisms. This is a button filler, but interesting enough, the button is stuck, so I can't push on it, and this is one of the reasons I will do its writing sample, dipping it in an inkwell and not using its internal sac. Probably it needs a new sac. It was never open. It opens like this by unscrewing this part, and that gives you access to the sack to be replaced. It is a nice and a practical Montblanc. I'm quite intrigued about this color. When I first saw it, I said to myself, well, it's not so interesting, I don't like it a lot. But when you see it in your face, it's definitely other kind of Montblanc, a special one, and you feel special by using it. So, guys, without further delay, I will leave its dimensions on the screen and I will get ready for the writing sample. And for the writing sample, I thought to myself that this Sparkle Quick ink will do real nice. And I have here my notepad, and yes, I will open it on this page. Just put this here, put this here. I will get a little tissue to remove the excess of the ink, and here it is, the tissue. And before I will start, let me change a little bit the angle of the camera. Let me place it like this. Yes. And now I am ready for the writing sample. This is it. It poses like this. Quite nice. This particular one, you can see this clip is moving. I'm not so sure. Maybe it needs a little bit of tightening it. Definitely not a major flaw. I think I will use it uncapped. And let's see. So just dipping it in ink like this, guys. Remove the excess of the ink. Now also remove the excess from the grip section, gently like this. You can leave little pieces of ink on the nib. And what do we have here? Let me see if a little zoom can do the trick. Maybe a little more. Yes, like this. So here, guys, we have Montblanc. The number is 204. The material is celluloid. The color is coral red or orange. It depends on your view of this rather unique looking color. It was made, so produced in Denmark. And this one was produced between 1950 and 1954. It has a beautiful number 4, 14 karat gold nib. Judging by the way it writes, I think we have an F4 fine. Interesting enough, we don't have mentioned the size of the nib on this blind cap, but judging by the way it writes, I think we have a fine nib, or maybe even an extra fine one. Let me show you the variation, and I'm not so sure you can see, but we definitely have a little flex, so it's a little flex is present. a little flex. When you push on the nib, the little tines move, you can see here. So a little flex, very nice, specific to the gold dips produced by Montblanc in Germany or in Denmark at the beginning of the 1950s. A very, very little flex, but it is present there. This will do a signature quite well. It seems to be like a pretty juicy writer, and yes, you can see. Now I will test the line variance. So here no pressure, guys, and here I'm starting to apply pressure. And yes, I can say also we have a little line variance, but it is present, but it is very little, barely noticeable. But if I zoom on it, you will see the difference, I hope. Let me see. Yes, you definitely can see the difference. Look, yes, there is a slight difference between the lines. Okay, let me zoom out and let me continue my writing sample. I'm curious enough to see if I can reverse write with it. Reverse writing. And God, I'm quite pleased. It writes like a EF, extra fine in comparison with the fine it usually writes. And let me tell you, it writes in reverse writing very, very smooth. I was quite surprised by this. Probably this is the reason I will do 2 writing samples, and the first one will be in reverse. So let me tell you a little bit about the Quick Brown Fox. I'm trying to zoom on it. Let me change a little bit the angle. Yes. And give a little nice zoom. I hope you can see. So the Quick Brown Fox jumps over the lazy dog. Oh, I'm sorry, a baby is crying outside. So the Quick Brown Fox jumps over the lazy dog. This was done in reverse writing, and it's very, very smooth. No scratch of the paper, so I definitely approve reverse writing. And now let's write in the normal F. So the Quick Brown Fox jumps over the lazy dog. Also nice in fine writing, and this is extra fine. A very, very nice and practical pen. It is a shame that the button filling mechanism doesn't work. I'm not so sure about this deformity out here. Maybe you can share your opinions. This was its review. I want to wish you to have a wonderful day, my friends, wherever you are. I will see you again in the next episode. Till then, bye bye, and God bless you all, my dear friends.